Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Anuja Kumar, and with me is Tanvi Taneja with the midday news. The headlines. Union Home Minister Amit Shah to chair meeting with Chief Ministers of Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and Delhi to review COVID-19 situation in Delhi NCR. Drug Discovery Hackathon jointly launched by Union Ministers Dr. Harshvardhan and Ramesh Pokhriyal call upon students, academicians, researchers and professionals to work for developing drugs of COVID-19. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal inaugurates first plasma bank of the country. National corona recovery rate reaches 59.51%. 3,59,860 people recovered in the country so far. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh to visit Leh Ladakh tomorrow. And in the second expansion of Madhya Pradesh cabinet, 28 new ministers joined the BJP government. Union Home Minister Amit Shah will chair a meeting this evening through video conferencing to review the COVID-19 situation in Delhi NCR. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal will attend the meeting. Senior officials of Home Ministry and Health Ministry will also attend the meeting. On the 18th of June, Mr. Shah had reviewed the COVID-19 situation in Delhi NCR with Mr. Kejriwal and senior officials of Delhi, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh. Mr. Shah had emphasized on the need to have a unified strategy in the Delhi NCR region to tackle the COVID-19 pandemic. The total confirmed cases in the national capital has reached 89,802. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal today inaugurates the plasma bank for the treatment of COVID-19 patients. The facility has been set up at Institute of Liver and Biliary Sciences, New Delhi. Addressing the media in New Delhi today, Mr. Kejriwal said plasma bank will remove the hurdles faced by the patients to get the plasma therapy. He appealed to the people to come forward in large numbers to donate the plasma. More from our correspondent.
The interested donors can call to 1031 and can WhatsApp at 8800007722 to donate the plasma. Afterwards, doctor will get in touch with the interested donors and will confirm their eligibility. Only those people can donate the plasma who was earlier infected with the coronavirus and now recovered. People between the age group of 18 to 60 having the weight above 50 kg can donate plasma for COVID-19 patients. Women who have given birth or the person with chronic health issues are not eligible to donate plasma. The plasma will be given only after the prescription of the doctors. Delhi was among the first few states to get ICMR approval to conduct trials with plasma therapy, which is still at trial stage. ICMR has initiated the Placid trial and the sample size of the study is 452. Bhupendra Singh, AIR News, Delhi.
The government today said that a total of 3,59,860 people affected with coronavirus have recovered in the country so far. In the past 24 hours, 11,881 people have recovered and the COVID-19 recovery rate has improved to 59.51%. Health and Family Welfare Ministry said a total of 19,148 new cases of COVID-19 have been reported in the country within 24 hours, taking the total number of cases to 6,04,641. In a single day, 434 deaths have been reported, taking the nationwide toll to 17,834. Presently, the total number of active corona cases in the country is 2,26,947. Meanwhile, Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, said that a total of 2,29,588 tests of coronavirus samples were conducted by various laboratories in the country in the last 24 hours. This is the highest number of tests conducted by laboratories since the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic. In India, so far, 90,56,173 tests have been conducted. ICMR is continuously scaling up its testing facilities for COVID-19 by giving approval to government and private laboratories. As of now, total of 1,065 laboratories across India have been given approval to conduct COVID-19 tests, including 768 government laboratories and 297 private laboratory chains.
Human Resources Development Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank and Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan today jointly launched Drug Discovery Hackathon through video conferencing. The ministers called upon students, academicians, researchers and professionals to participate in the hackathon and work towards developing drugs to tackle COVID-19. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Nishank said,
ये जो महामारी है, इस संकट का निदान भारत की धरती से निकलना चाहिए पूरे विश्व के कल्याण के लिए। दुनिया में कोई भी व्यक्ति दुखी हम देखना नहीं चाहते हैं, इसीलिए हमारे प्रधानमंत्री ने कहा हमारा देश विश्व कल्याण का देश है और इसलिए ये ताकत हमें आनी चाहिए। मैं बहुत सारी शुभकामना देना चाहता हूँ इस अवसर पर। सभी लोग जो यहाँ पर आए हैं वो आज से इस विजन और मिशन के साथ इसको दौड़ करके रिजल्ट की उस परिणति तक चुप न बैठें, बल्कि सबका उस दिशा में योगदान होगा।
Human Resources Development Minister said this is an opportunity to show our concern and expertise to the world. The hackathon is a joint initiative of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research CSIR and All India Council for Technical Education AICTE. Minister of State for Human Resources Development Sanjay S. Dhotre, AICTE Chairman Anil Sahasrabuddhe and DG CSIR Dr. Shekhar Mande were present on the occasion. Delhi government said that a total of 2,442 new confirmed cases of coronavirus have been reported in the city during the last 24 hours, taking the total number of cases to 89,802. There are 27,007 active cases in Delhi. Delhi Health Bulletin confirmed that a total of 59,992 people affected with coronavirus have been cured so far, and the recovery rate reached 66.8% in the city. In a single day, 1,644 people have recovered and 61 deaths have been registered in Delhi, taking the overall toll to 2,803. During the last 24 hours, 9,913 RT-PCR tests and 10,043 rapid antigen tests were conducted in Delhi. In view of rising number of coronavirus patients, the Maharashtra government has decided for requisition of private ambulances and other vehicles to be used for ferrying patients to hospitals. An official release said the decision was also taken following complaints that private ambulances are charging exorbitant rates for providing their services. A government resolution issued by the Health Department said that the district administration will take over private ambulances and other on-hire private vehicles. It said the requisitioned ambulances and other vehicles will be used for asymptomatic COVID-19 patients or the patients whose condition is not very serious. District collectors and municipal commissioners will carry out the requisition, where the vehicles would be taken over on lease or monthly rental at the rates fixed by the Regional Transport Office. In Gujarat, the Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation AMC has removed 9 areas from the list of micro-containment zones. At the same time, the AMC has also added 15 new areas in micro-containment zones following detection of new cases. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
Ahmedabad remains the worst hit by COVID-19 pandemic in Gujarat, followed by Surat and Vadodara. Out of total 32,000 cases in the state, more than half the cases are in Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation, who is fighting hard with deadly spread of COVID-19 in the city, has removed 9 areas from the micro-containment zones. These areas are Sukhram Nagar, Khodiar Nagar, Janta Nagar, Kumbhajini Chali, Tawakkal Villa and Sri Nand Nagar block. But at the same time, they have to add 15 more areas in the list of micro-containment zones. Some of these areas are Maninagar Gadi Sansthan Temple in Maninagar, Karnavati Park Society, Love Kush Heights, Jai Mitra Society, Chanakyapuri, Sayona City, Azam Society, Sainath Society, Mahavir Nagar and a street near Radhakrishna Temple. According to sources, several saints of Maninagar Swaminarayan Gadi Temple have been hospitalized after being detected positive. Yogesh Pandya, AR News, Ahmedabad.
The Lal Bagcha Raja Ganesh Mandal, which installs Mumbai's most famous Ganpati idol, has announced cancellation of the Ganesh Chaturthi celebration this year in view of the COVID-19 pandemic. Instead, they will celebrate Arogya Utsav and undertake some social activities. More from our Mumbai correspondent.
In the wake of coronavirus pandemic, Mumbai's most famous Lal Bagh Sa Raja Ganesh Mandal have decided not to install the Ganesh idol this year. Instead, they are giving rupees 25 lakh to the Chief Minister's Relief Fund. They have also decided to provide financial assistance to the families of policemen who have succumbed to coronavirus. Apart from this, they will honor the families of 20 soldiers who were martyred during clashes with Chinese soldiers in Ladakh. The Mandal will celebrate the festival by organizing blood donation and plasma donation camps. Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray has lauded this initiative and stated that this decision will strengthen the state's fight against coronavirus. Madhuri Pange, AIR News, Mumbai.
According to the status report from the Health Department of Puducherry Union Territory, the COVID-19 recovery rate of the Union Territory has improved to 41.27% and the fatality rate is 1.5% only. As per the report, 63 persons were tested positive today, taking the total toll of active cases to 459.
While talking to the media persons, Director of Medical Services Dr. Mohan Kumar said that of the 63 infected today, 16 new cases were reported in Puducherry region and 3 in Karaikal. 52 cases were admitted to the Government Medical College, 8 to Jipmer and 3 to Karaikal Government Hospital. In the new cases, 34 are males and 29 females, he added. Dr. Mohan Kumar further said that 30 persons were discharged and presently 250 are being treated at the Government Medical College, 110 in Jipmer and 4 outside Puducherry. So far, 802 persons were infected by the virus, of which 331 were treated and discharged and 12 died, leaving 459 active cases in hospitals here. Chandra Mohan, AIR News, Puducherry.
In Bihar, RJD MLA Shahnawaz Alam has tested positive for COVID-19. Mr. Alam is the third legislator of the state to have contracted the disease. The legislator represents Jokihat constituency in Araria district. Alam has been shifted to an isolation centre in the district. Earlier, State Minister Vinod Kumar Singh, along with his wife and BJP MLA Jibesh Kumar Mishra, had tested positive for COVID-19. Singh, who is the backward and extremely backward class welfare minister, was diagnosed with the disease on the June 28th and sent to an isolation ward in Katihar district. Jibesh Mishra, who represents the Jale constituency of Darbhanga district, tested positive for the infection and was admitted to AIIMS Patna for treatment. Meanwhile, the number of positive cases has mounted to 10,205, while 7,811 people have so far been cured, and recovery rate has increased to 77%. At present, 2,319 patients are undergoing treatment in various hospitals. In view of corona, the state government has issued instructions to suspend Shravani Mela in different parts of the state during the month of Shravan. Shiva temples across the state will be closed till 4th of August. The Himachal Pradesh state government has directed its officers to start rural development-oriented schemes for the state in order to sustain the rural economy in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic. Our correspondent has filed this report.
Chief Minister Jairam Thakur has said the main aim of the state government is to revive the rural economy of the state. He stated that senior officers of the state have been directed to start rural development-oriented schemes for the youth so that they do not have to migrate to cities in search of employment. During the last 2.5 years, several schemes have been launched in the state aimed at developing rural areas. In view of COVID-19 pandemic, one such scheme, Mukhyamantri Ek Bigha Yojana, is proving a big success as about 3,500 families have been registered themselves to avail the benefits. Under this scheme, subsidy would be given to households for planting vegetables and fruits at their backyards. On the other hand, Mukhyamantri Gram Kaushal Yojana has been started in 18 blocks of 4 districts of the state. The scheme was launched with a view to revive the traditional handicraft, handloom, local articraft, wood and metal crafts, besides providing gainful employment to the rural youth. Sanjeev Sundaryal, AIR News, Shimla.
In our series Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you the views of leading medical experts on COVID-19. Speaking to AIR News, Dr. Sonali Bali, psychiatrist at Vidyasagar Institute of Mental Health and Neuro and Allied Sciences, New Delhi, said that misinformation regarding COVID through multiple unverified sources has led anxiety-related issues in people, which manifests in the form of a social stigma. She advised everyone to limit their exposure to only verified information sources.
One can be socially connected with near and dear ones. Limiting the use of internet, use it for better things like constructive workshops, maintaining a positive, optimistic attitude which will help in putting things in perspective. And one can also indulge in some basic relaxation techniques which can help a person deal with the anxiety associated with this period. And another thing I feel which is important is to maintain a kind and compassionate attitude towards others.
Dr. Saurabh Mehrotra, consultant at the Mental Health Division in Medanta Hospital, emphasized that people should indulge in positive activities like reading books, music, exercise, amongst other activities. He said special care should be taken not to overexpose oneself to excessive COVID-related news, which leads to anxiety-related issues.
Positive addictions would include the creative arts, such as drawing, writing, painting. All of these qualify as positive addictions. Music is positive addictions. People who are interested in dancing, that's a positive addiction. Playing a game with family members has the beneficial effect of both the social interaction as well as the fun of the game. Some people like to do gardening. Some people like to do cooking. All of these qualify as positive addictions and have a significant benefit in reducing the stress. Then social connection is very important.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Union Home Minister Amit Shah to chair meeting with Chief Ministers of Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and Delhi to review COVID-19 situation in Delhi NCR. Drug Discovery Hackathon jointly launched by Union Ministers Dr. Harshvardhan and Ramesh Pokhriyal call upon students, academicians, researchers and professionals to work for developing drugs of COVID-19. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal inaugurates first plasma bank of the country. National corona recovery rate reaches 59.51%. 3,59,860 people recovered in the country so far. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh to visit Leh Ladakh tomorrow. And in the second expansion of Madhya Pradesh cabinet, 28 new ministers join the BJP government. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Union Environment and Forest Minister Prakash Zavadekar today said urban forests are the lungs of cities, acting as oxygen bank and carbon sink. Inaugurating a unique urban forest at the office of the CAG of India, Mr. Zavadekar said the urban forest with 12,000 seedlings of 59 indigenous species will act as a role model for officers in Delhi.
ये नया जंगल का टेक्निक है और देखने लायक है। अभी तो 6 महीने ही हुए। 3 साल के बाद ये जब पूरा फूलेगा फलेगा तो ये आनंद देगा, उपयोग भी देगा और कार्बन सोख भी लेगा और ऑक्सीजन देता रहेगा। यही तो जिंदगी का नाम है। पेड़ की जिंदगी इसीलिए होती है और पेड़ सीएजी ने अपनी खुद की ऑक्सीजन बैंक अपने कंपाउंड में ही तैयार की है, ये मैं कह सकता हूँ।
He said Miyawaki method of forest creation is used, which could help in reducing the temperature by as much as 14 degrees and increase the moisture by more than 40%. India and China have emphasized the need for an expeditious, phased and stepwise de-escalation as a priority along the line of actual control. Both sides have been engaged in discussions through established military and diplomatic channels to address the situation. Commanders from People's Liberation Army, PLA, and the Indian Army held a meeting at Chushul on the Indian side yesterday for another round of talks. This was the third senior military commander level engagement to discuss issues related to disengagement at the face-off sites along the LAC and de-escalation from the border areas. This is in keeping with the agreement between External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and his Chinese counterpart during their conversation on the 17th of June. Both the leaders agreed that the overall situation would be handled in a responsible manner and both sides would implement the disengagement understanding of 6 June sincerely.
In the meantime, Union Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is scheduled to visit Leh Ladakh on Friday. This will be his first visit to Ladakh after tensions prevailed along the LAC since May. The Defence Minister will be accompanied by the Chief of Army Staff, General M.M. Naravane, GOC Northern Command, Lieutenant General Y.K. Joshi. More from our correspondent.
On his day-long visit, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will hold high-level meetings with senior military officers and review the security situation in eastern Ladakh region. Fire and Fury General Officer Commanding Lieutenant General Harinder Singh will brief the Defence Minister. Mr. Rajnath Singh will also interact with the troops in Leh. During his visit, Mr. Rajnath Singh will also review India's military preparedness and coordination between various forces. The visit will boost morale of the army personnel guarding the country's sovereignty in world's toughest terrains in harsh climatic conditions. Ramesh Chandra, All India Radio News, Leh.
Union Information and Technology Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad today said banning Chinese apps was a digital strike. Addressing a virtual meeting, Mr. Prasad said Chinese apps were banned to protect the personal data of our countrymen.
तो भारत आत्मनिर्भर तभी होगा जब भारत सशक्त होगा, भारत मजबूत होगा और भारत हिम्मत से भारत के लोगों के हितों की रक्षा करेगा। आजकल दो सी चल रहा है, एक है कोरोना और दूसरा है चाइना। भारत शांति में विश्वास करता है, भारत समस्याओं को बातचीत से सुलझाना चाहता है, भारत वसुधैव कुटुंबकम में विश्वास करता है। लेकिन जैसा हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा, अगर भारत के साथ कोई आंख मिलाएगा तो भारत आंख मिला के जवाब देना भी जानता है, समझना चाहिए। हमने सबों के साथ दोस्ती का हाथ बढ़ाया, लेकिन अगर चीन के लोगों ने जबरन लद्दाख में दबाव बनाने की कोशिश की, जो लाइन ऑफ एक्चुअल कंट्रोल है, जो एलओसी है, तो उसके संधि का अतिक्रमण कर आगे आने की कोशिश की, तो हमारे जवानों ने जबरदस्त जवाब भी दिया।
59 Chinese mobile apps were banned on Monday. The government termed the apps were prejudicial to the sovereignty, integrity and security of the country. In an official statement, the IT Ministry said it has received many complaints from various sources, including several reports about misuse of some mobile apps available on Android and iOS platforms for stealing and surreptitiously transmitting users' data in an unauthorized manner to servers which have locations outside India.
In Madhya Pradesh, the Shivraj Singh Chauhan-led BJP government cabinet was expanded today with the induction of 28 ministers. Governor Anandiben Patel administered the oath of office to the ministers at Raj Bhavan. COVID-19 protocols were followed at the ceremony.
The new ministers include 20 of cabinet rank and 8 ministers of state. The BJP ministry strength is now 33. This is the second expansion of the cabinet after the Shivraj Singh Chauhan took oath as chief minister for a record 4 term on March 23. The first expansion was on April 21st, where 5 ministers were inducted. Those inducted from Sindhia camp are not MLAs as they resigned from the assembly in March, leading to the fall of 15-month-old Congress government led by senior leader Kamal Nath. They will be contesting the assembly by poll. There are 24 assembly seats vacant in the state. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Senior Leader Jyotiraditya Scindia and Union Minister Narendra Singh Tomar were among those present in the Raj Bhavan ceremony. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
In Tamil Nadu, the Crime Branch Crime Investigation Department, CBCID Police, has booked 4 policemen on charges of murder for the killing of the father-son duo from Satankulam. The CID Inspector General Shankar told reporters at Thoothukudi last night that the 2 FIRs filed earlier by the local police have been converted into murder charges against the 2 sub-inspectors and 2 policemen. He said 1 sub-inspector has been arrested and remanded. He added that more people may also come under the investigation based on getting further leads. The investigation is being monitored by the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court. Meanwhile, the case has been handed over to the Central Bureau of Investigation by the state government. The court asked the CBCID Deputy Superintendent of Police in charge, Anil Kumar, to immediately begin investigating the case, as the delay due to the procedures in the CBI taking up the case may help eradication of evidence. The High Court observed that there is a prima facie evidence to book a case of murder. The CBCID deployed about a dozen teams of officials to investigate the brutal killing that shook the conscience of the whole nation.
The CBI has lodged a case of cheating and forgery against the GVK Group, its chairman Venkata Krishna Reddy and Mumbai International Airport Limited Managing Director Sanjay Reddy, among others, for wrongful gain of 705 crore rupees and a loss to the public exchequer between 2012 and 2018. The CBI said in FIR that the promoters of GVK Group, in connivance with unknown officials of the Airports Authority of India, committed fraud that caused the loss. It also said that the accused siphoned off funds meant for development of the airport by showing bogus work contracts, misusing the reserve fund, inflating expenditure and underreporting earnings. In Assam, over 12 lakh people are still reeling under the fury of floods in 20 districts. The Brahmaputra is flowing above the danger level at Jorhat, Tezpur, Goalpada and Dhubri. Official sources said that 34 persons lost their lives. The surging water caused damages to infrastructure facilities, including roads, embankments and culverts. Over 16,000 people are staying at relief camps. Flood water also submerged 1 lakh hectare of agricultural land. 80% of the Kaziranga National Park is also submerged. 25 animals died at the park. Forest Minister Parimal Shuklabedya visited the park to assess the situation.
In Mizoram, former Speaker of the State Legislative Assembly, Upa Rokamlova, died at a hospital in Aizawl last night. He was 79. Family sources said that he was suffering from prolonged illness of kidney disorder. Rokamlova is survived by his wife and 2 children. A veteran Congress leader, Rokamlova, joined politics in early 1980s, and he had played a key role in signing off the historic Mizo Peace Accord in 1986. He won the state assembly elections 3 times between 1984 and 1993. The News Services Division of All India Radio in its bilingual live phone-in program today will bring you a special discussion on COVID-19. Dr. Naresh Gupta of Lok Nayak Jai Prakash Narayan Hospital will participate in the discussion. Listeners can ask questions to the experts on toll-free telephone number 1-800-115-767. You can also ask questions on telephone number 011-2331-4444 and post queries on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You can also follow us on the News on AIR app for updates.
In the United States, 2 renowned Indian Americans who have contributed towards the efforts in mitigating the COVID-19 health crisis are among the 38 immigrants honored by a prestigious American foundation ahead of U.S. Independence Day commemoration this year. Pulitzer Prize-winning author and oncologist Siddharth Mukherjee and Professor of Economics at the Harvard University, Raj Chetty, have been named by the Carnegie Corporation of New York as 2020 Great Immigrants Honorees. The corporation said in a statement issued yesterday. Now let us take a look at the weather updates for today. The national capital Delhi is expected to have partly cloudy sky with possibility of development of thunder and lightning. The minimum temperature was 31 degrees Celsius while the maximum is expected at 40 degrees. Mumbai will have generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. The city witnessed a minimum temperature of 24 degrees Celsius and will have a maximum of 32 degrees. In Chennai, the temperature will hover between 26 and 34 degrees Celsius. The city will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. Kolkata will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm with a minimum temperature of 28 degrees Celsius. Maximum temperature will be 35 degrees. In Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature was 27 degrees Celsius in Jammu, while maximum will be around 38 degrees. The city is likely to have mainly clear sky. In Srinagar, the temperature will hover between 18 and 33 degrees Celsius. The city will have mainly clear sky. In Gilgit, the minimum temperature was 16 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 33 degrees, and the sky will be mainly clear, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The sky in Muzaffarabad will be mainly clear. The place witnessed a minimum temperature of 23 degrees Celsius, while maximum temperature will be around 40 degrees. Chandigarh will see a partly cloudy sky. Minimum temperature was 29 degrees Celsius, and maximum temperature will be around 37 degrees. Bengaluru is expected to experience temperatures between 21 to 28 degrees Celsius. The city will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. Ahmedabad will have a partly cloudy sky. Minimum temperature in the city was 29 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be around 36 degrees. In Bhopal, rain or thunder showers would occur towards evening or night. Minimum temperature was 25 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be 35 degrees. Rain or thunder showers would occur towards afternoon or evening in Patna. The temperature will fluctuate between 27 to 36 degrees Celsius.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Union Home Minister Amit Shah to chair meeting with Chief Ministers of Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and Delhi to review COVID-19 situation in Delhi NCR. Drug Discovery Hackathon, jointly launched by Union Ministers Dr. Harshvardhan and Ramesh Pokhriyal, call upon students, academicians, researchers and professionals to work for developing drugs of COVID-19. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal inaugurates first plasma bank of the country. National corona recovery rate reaches 59.51%. 3,59,860 people recovered in the country so far. And with that, we end the midday news.